this video, I'm going to be quickly going over how to complete the assignment, Finding Themes in College Urban Legends. So this is going to be the second essay prep assignment that we've done so far for Essay 2. The first one was this one up here, College Urban Legends Google Doc assignment. If you have not completed that, it's really important to get that done now. So leave, go get this done first, and once you're done, you can come back and complete this assignment here. Because it's an essay prep assignment, you will get full credit even if it's late. And it is really important to get this done because we're going to be using these stories for this assignment that we're doing right now. And then this assignment, just for a quick refresher, is the one that looks like this. We are filling out the Google Doc with all the different urban legends from the two articles here, the Exam Scams and Classroom Flimflams and the Why College Students Need Their Urban Legends by Zhao. Okay, so assuming you're all done with that one, we're going to get started. So click on Finding Themes in College Urban Legends. It is going to look like this. We have a missing tutorial video because I'm filming it right now, but there will be a tutorial video. Obviously, you're watching it. So you are just going to click on this link here. So for this assignment, you are not going to save yourself a copy because it is a shared class document. So we're all going to be editing it together. So just like with any other shared class document, it's really important. Do not erase anything, only add. So we want to make sure that we're not getting rid of anyone's contributions. You're just adding your own contributions, and I'll explain what you're going to be doing. So if you click on this link here, it is going to open up this assignment. So when you first open it, it's going to look like exactly like the Google Doc assignment that you all completed individually with all the different urban legends. The only difference is this one is already filled out for you because I want to make sure that we're all working with the same answers and the same story titles and that sort of thing. It's okay if your story titles are not the same. I don't expect them to be. You probably used different words and that's totally fine. For the sake of this assignment, though, I am going to have you guys use the story titles that I came up with, even if they don't match the ones that are on your document. You're not going to lose points or anything. I don't expect us to all use the exact same titles. But just so that we're all kind of working together with the same ideas, I'm going to have you use my titles. But because you've done the assignment, you'll know what all these stories are. You have read them, and so you'll know what stories we're talking about. Same thing with the Li Zhao articles. Basically, what I did is I filled in the missing words, and then I also included a story name at the end as well as the citation. So that's the story name that we're going to be working with. So Champ the Monster, Zombie Monkey, Duck Spirit. Those are kind of our short form story titles that we're going to be using if we want to refer to different stories. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And so in addition, I also included a couple internet stories, just like you guys did. So we have Aren't You Glad You Didn't Turn on the Light, which is a video that I had you guys watch in a previous assignment. So hopefully you know what that story is. We had the Kidney Thief, the Halloween Massacre, and What Tire. It is possible some of you have come across these stories on your own, in which case you're in great shape. If not, though, I do recommend just clicking on these links, and it just is going to take you to a website where you can read the story real fast, and then you can use it in this assignment if you choose to. Okay, so those are all the stories that we're working with. So we've got a good group of stories that we can use. And then the part of the assignment that you're going to be completing is the class theme, so down here. So for the class themes, every student is going to contribute 2 stories. So these are stories from the list here. You don't need to find new stories. We're going to be using the stories that we've already come up with as a class so that we all understand what the stories are. So you are going to go through and look at this list of common themes. Now, this is a list that I have come up with after years of teaching and having students, help me come up with these themes. And to just make things as easy as possible, I'm just going to provide the themes and then have you guys find stories that match these themes. So some of the themes are pretty obvious. We have things like unprofessional professors. We have plenty of stories that match up with that theme. We have embarrassment, lots of examples of that. Murder, sex and hookups, college drinking and partying, student conflict, student death, haunted campus, and so on. So there's lots and lots of different themes to choose from. So your job is just to choose 2 themes that you are interested in contributing to, and then you're going to choose a story that matches that theme. That's it. So I'm just going to use myself as an example. So what I'm going to do is choose a theme that I think I can contribute a story to. So I am going to do Dangers on Campus as my first one. And so the story that I want to use for this one is the zombie monkey story. So what I'm going to do for the Zao articles is I'm just going to copy and paste this last part. So the name of the story, as well as the citation, so Zao, so I know where it's coming from. I'm just going to copy and paste that. Where's my dangers? There we go. Here, and then I'm going to also add my initials. That way, I know that you contributed the story, and then I can make sure you get credit for this assignment. If you're concerned that your initials are not going to really help, feel free to also just put your last name is also fine. Whatever I need to know that this is you, and so I make sure that you get credit for it. Okay, so that's my first contribution, and then I need to include a second story. So let's do. It's another good one. Let's do student conflict, and I'm going to do the tandem story because that's a pretty good example of that. Let's see. Tandem story. So that was the one where we had the two students that were each taking turns like writing part of the story, and they kept changing like what the story was about, and it was a mess. So that's going to be our tandem story one. So I'm going to copy and paste the entire thing here. So I have the name of the story as well as the citation. This is going to be really helpful when we go to the next part of planning your essay 3, because when we come to that, we're going to need to have the citations for any stories we use. So rather than having to go back and find it, I'm just going to include it. And trust me, it'll make a lot more sense when we get to the next part because it's going to make this a lot easier. Okay, so I'm going to put that for student conflict. Tandem story, I have my citation, and then I'm just going to put my initials. And that's it. So I don't need to include anything else, just those two stories. And then if you want to use one of the stories here, so the internet stories, you can just copy and paste the link. That's fine. And then if anyone decides to use these, they'll be able to know where that story came from. So I'm actually going to include one of these. Let's do, aren't you glad I didn't turn on the light? I'm just going to copy that so we get the link. And then I'm going to put that with murder. There's definitely a murder there. Okay, and then I put my citation or my initials, and that's it. So that's what you're going to be doing. So come here, contribute 2 stories with whatever themes. The only rules for this are do not erase anyone else's answers. If someone's already put a story that you wanted to put, just choose a different story. It's fine. There's plenty to choose from. Make sure that you put your initials and make sure that you include the citation for the story. That is really important. So do not just include the name of the story, also include the citation. So Zao or Major and Bray and the page number that that story comes from. And that's all provided for you. So it's not like you need to know, you can just copy and paste it. It's super easy. Once we're done this, we are going to continue to use this Google Doc for choosing your topics. So I'll explain how we're going to do that next. But for now, just focus on making sure that you're contributing your stories. Oh, another thing, there obviously can be more than one story. So for any of these themes, the goal is to have as many stories as possible. So don't worry if we have zombie monkeys for dangers on campus. There are plenty of other stories that include dangers on campus. In fact, aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light is also a danger on campus. So you are welcome to use the same stories for more than one theme, and you're welcome to use multiple stories for each theme. Just don't repeat stories because we want to have as many different ones as possible. Or don't repeat stories for the same theme. You can repeat stories for different themes. Okay, hopefully that is clear. Do this, and then I will let you know what to do next. And if you have any questions, let me know.